Hi there, everyone and everybody. It's Chris McLean speaking here. Is that the show is about to start soon. From live with the hosts that are going to be in the Aftermath Show 3. That will be is Jeff and Bridget and Duncan Gaming. And maybe soon for Blanley. So again, it's time to start the Aftermath Show to start and begin. That starts now. Enjoy the show, everyone. Without further ado, Chris McLean. We'll see you absolutely in the next episode. Who wins the next chance of getting the second chance to win again and come back to the playing? So, anyways, let's get it on with. And let's just bring out our 3 hosts, or 4 hosts for that matter, or maybe a twisted plot. Anyways, here we go. Let the show begin. Anyway, the Aftermath show starts right now. And looks like Jeff, on the other hand, was saying what he's always saying. That everyone started cheering for Duncan Gaming and Jeff. Thank you, everyone. And glad to be here on the Aftermath show. Oh yeah, I see, to be honest with you, dude, is that I'll be around like 2 more shows of the Aftermath. Then I might be leaving the show afterwards. Since that I know I won't get to see the finale episode, and also since I would get to watch it on TV, Jeff. I do agree with you, Jeff. Say, where is Bridget? Well, I hope again for Bridget, which meant to say is, well, hope Bridget, does, take her time and stuff. Now then, so here is the peanut gallery that did not get a chance to win this, season of the numbers, a season of number 3, which does suck for them exactly. And pretty much everyone was cheering on for pretty much again for the chairs, while everyone were the peanut gallery that did not get a chance to win this episode, or more likely the season itself. And speaking of that, looks like Jeff, on the other hand, was definitely speaking anyways. That was pretty based, man. And Jeff actually agreed right there. Yep, to say how she will ever get to show up at some point. And then, of course, that Jeff was just trying to find for Bridget, but Bridget didn't show up twice in a row, which means something was not going pretty dang good. And Blaney has showed on up, and everyone was shocked. It looks like Jeff was getting pretty ticked. Right on Blaney, getting pretty ticked. Yep, Langley's in big, shocking whirl of a twisted trouble so far. But at least we'll see where this continues on for. Bruh, that is not cool for you done to Bridget. For what you done to Bridget. That is not cool. And then, of course, Blaney did not even care either, so ouch. Because they're awesome in my book. And again, hope you're going to have a long time of everyone to hit your head soon. And Bridget did not harm of whatsoever to anybody. Jeez. And it looks like everyone were cheering on for Duncan Gaming because while he was very much being based, well, being myself as me being based. And then Jeff agreed what I said right there. Damn. And it looks like Jeff was finding out something was happening because she said that the producer sent her away. I'm sure that was a lie. Really? Come on. And it looks like Blaney, on the other hand, was trying to avoid from Jeff or myself's conversation, but Jeff had stopped her right there. Man, that was pretty good. Man, Jeff just stopped her before she even was going to continue more further on the show. And then looks like once again, ouch. It looks like the feed, on the other hand, of the screen has showed up on to turn on the TV and started. While Bridget was, on the other hand, was pointing where she was at Siberia. Uh-oh. It looks like Bridget was on the screen while she's in a blizzard in Siberia. It looks like Jeff, on the other hand, pretty much said was a lie to pretty much on Blaney, and Blaney said about something was a special report and also took most likely of her passport just to trick her all the way to Siberia that won't come on back. And oh boy, Jeff's gonna be mad. Like, I can tell he's a bit mad at Blaney. I was like, no way, man. That is some disgraceful attitude and behavior right there. I had ever seen, ever since, or ever seen. And for what I said, looks like Bridge on the hand said was like Jeff. And then of course that once again that Jeff and Bridget started talking exactly until Bridget on the other hand was losing a bit of the feed. And the feed was kind of disappeared until there was like one person that actually left blatantly of another fan exactly, which is pretty weird. And so far, yep, Blaney just snapped Jeff out of it and pretty much got to do a show. And I still was like, oh no, poor Bridget. And oh, Jeff just called her a monster. That Jeff just called instantly on Blaney that she's a monster. And oh boy, now that was powering right there. That Jeff had definitely said the word before everyone started cheering right there for Jeff out while Jeff was storming out the room and was pretty much pissed. And I said, damn, that was wild. Turn right there. Damn. It looks like the 9 other people from the peanut gallery were mad at Blaney. And then it looks like, as for me, I was going to make some introducements, while Blaine, on the other hand, was mentioning about 6 special guests are coming in, like, right now. Our first guest that we have is Harold, and the guy was lasting very well in the season of number 3 that made more questions for him to stay on around until London was his downfall, and like fully lost and out of here is Harold. So anyway, it looks like Harold, on the other hand, has showed up to the Aftermath show. It looks like once again he definitely had showed up. Well, Lashana saw Harold, definitely came right in. Anyway, the Negro's Herald, he sit down to the peanut gallery. Next up, we have is Noah, the man himself, and gotten that far before. He was out, and let's bring Noah. It looks like Noah had showed on up. It looks like for Blaney, she said that like she was mentioning Star and Heather. It looks like everyone would cheering for Star, while pretty much everyone else finally were booing Heather, because Heather, on the other hand, should have been eliminated times ago, when she was already out. And I was like, alright folks, our last 2 guests is DJ, and then now Gwen. It looks like DJ finally came back home to see his mama, and finally came back home. And Gwen, on the other hand, felt a bit disappointed while she was out, and she gets to sit next to the peanut gallery while sitting on down to the chairs. And then it looks like Blaney, on the other hand, was definitely saying is like, that's gonna leave a mark. And then nobody said a word from Bridget, including myself, which was actually kind of pretty funny. And so far, the cameras rolled on the clips and the screen was playing. And after the clips were done and over, with by random clips from the playing and outside of it. It looks like Blaney, on the other hand, was definitely making an announcement. And I said was also be right back. And as in for me, I went to go ahead and get a drink. And then I said was like, all right then. And for me, I'm gonna just pretty much say from off cue exactly is that find out and tell what happens after the break. And will one of the special guests, by the way, from the Peanut Gallery get a second chance to win the million? Or maybe get a second chance to be on to the ticket to get right back to the show on the plane? But for speaking, for example, let's just find out and see what we got from Blatantly and tell Jeff, on the other hand, will be informed with his producers very slightly and soon to see where this is going to lead to hit Blatantly on the head. And I'm like, no kidding. I'm like, wow. I was like, wow, that is crazy. Even if I had to side with Jeff, then I had to side with him on this. Good Jesus, right there. That was pretty cruel from what Blaney just did. But I won't give you guys any spoilers anyway. So, tell if I ever notice, I am Duncan Gaming, the host, or should I say, near likely the third or slash fourth host of the Aftermath show. We'll see you next time on the next part. So anyway, here on the Aftermath show, let's get right to the next clip. Or should I say, next part. Anyway, let's go and let's do this.